Here's a little tour of what forested Berkshire pigs have done for us. So you can obviously see where the fence line was. And this side is untouched forest. There's a lot of invasive stuff like this privet here. That's really the main thing, was trying to clear out some of the privet, nandina, autumn olive, and mimosa trees that really plague our entire wood line. And pigs seemed like the way to do it. So there is a little bit of work involved with using the pigs on it, obviously. And they don't get everything, and they certainly don't get everything the first time around. But we intend to continue using them because we really like the products they're making. We really like what it has to offer for our market. And we really like the effects that they're having on our grounds. So you can see here what I did is I seeded in behind them after they left with a combination of things. Some game bird mix, trying to get a few more grains into here. Unfortunately, I think it's just too shady in the woods to be able to get most of those things to take. Now, this was the first pasture that they were in, or paddock that they were in. So it has been approximately 6 months now since they were removed from here. And everything's actually still doing pretty nicely. As you can see, there's a little bit of trash and stuff. Still need to come in and get that out. They've unearthed all kinds of stuff that's been just pushed into the woods over the years. Now, they will likely end up back on this plot of land towards the end of their time here. And so that is one of the benefits of getting everything seeded. Obviously, we don't want mud. We don't want bare soil. That goes against everything we do. And we really don't want bare soil in an area where we're trying to get rid of invasives, because that's just going to invite even more invasive plant species to come and take over. Now, this area gets decent sunlight. As you can sort of see in the canopy, there is a fairly large opening here, whereas that side is much denser. But the grasses are still doing well. And, you know, that means a good amount of feed for them when they come back through here. You know, I don't know that the wildlife necessarily cares a ton, aside from the fact that they really don't touch the invasives. And that's been an interesting thing with the pigs even, is it's a lot of feeding grain, specifically where you want them to root up something, pushing the plants over and allowing them to get a chance to eat the little bit of new growth that's on them. Now, this fence here is off. This was the second paddock that they were shifted into, and that was around early May, I suppose, that we pulled them out of here. This patch being almost entirely a stand of pine trees. So there's a lot of needles all over the ground, and presumably a little bit more acidic soil. And you can see here, lots of growth where it's getting light. Now, this batch of pigs you can see hanging out underneath some shade. They are a group of pigs we got from a farmer that had to get out of the industry due to some health issues. They are not electric fence trained, unfortunately, so they are currently in a hard panel setup there. I do need to go ahead and get them moved here soon, and hopefully move them up into some of this fresh grass. Now, with the Berkshires, we went ahead and made sure to get them fence trained right when we got them. They were 9 weeks old. They're still small enough to contain after getting a little zap from the fence, and they were able to learn to respect the fence. So here as we come into more sunlight. Got a lot more growth. And one of the things I do intend to do is start selectively thinning some of these trees out of here, partially to make room for some of this mixed pasture type setup, but also to allow me space to plant things like pawpaws, more apples, some pears, just really a lot of persimmons, a whole mix of things that we are able to use as a supplemental feed source for the pigs. So moving out of this paddock, they came over into this freshest one that they have been out of for a little over a week now. Might be 2 weeks at this point. So you see there's still a lot of raw dirt. The wallows are still holding water pretty aggressively. And you can start to see the little glimpse of green up there. The fencing is still up. That's one thing. Do need to start pulling some of this up. Just trying to, take on as so many different projects means sometimes it stays up for a while in a space that I would like to get it out of. I don't know if you saw the frogs jump into the wallow there, but they do seem to like it. And the areas exactly where they are wallowing and right around it tend to get very compacted, and I don't know that we'll ever see much growth out of them without coming in and doing either a broad fork or tossing some compost down, potentially wood chipping, anything along those lines. I don't know if that's ever going to be something that we play into, and that is largely just because we do like the pigs so much that I think we will continue keeping them here, rotating them through the woods, as well as doing some pasture stuff. Now here's the Burks coming around in their newest paddock. I'm gonna go turn off the fence before I get in there. Oh, they found the electricity. So you can see here, they are on